Hi, this is Mark Pfeiffer, and this is how I manage my email. The first thing you should do is ask yourself what is your goal when you're managing your email. For me, I want the fewest, most important messages in my inbox that will get me closer to my goals. I want to respond quickly to the important messages, have a clean inbox, and minimize the amount of energy that I have to deal with email. The theme in this presentation is being proactive versus reactive, and minimalism, the idea that less is more. So at the beginning of the day, I'm proactive by taking action on the three most important things in my to-do list. If you don't have one, I suggest you create one. After I complete those three things, email's a fair game. So doing this brings me closer to my goals. If email's the first thing you do when you wake up at the beginning of the day, you're being reactive. Doing so helps someone else get closer to their goals. So set some rules. My rules are I have two times a day where I check my email, 12 p.m. and 4 p.m. I have a process where I go from the top down. When I open my email, I process the inbox completely. I start with the top inbox, open it, and then do either delete it, archive it, quickly reply to it, or put it in an action folder to deal with later. I keep going through all my emails as I do this, and once I process the list, then I worry about the to-do action items. I don't subscribe to any email lists. I try to unsubscribe from all those. And I try to stop sending so many emails, because the more emails that you send, the more emails you'll get back. Also, try to send shorter emails. Alright, before I get into how I'm going to manage my email, I'll show you some quick tools here. In Google Labs, the most effective tools that I have found are Auto Advance. With Auto Advance, you don't go back to your inbox, you just skip to the next email. I have a default Reply All. With this, instead of clicking reply all for a message that contains multiple participants, I just have to respond to it. Send and archive, this is super useful. Instead of having to send it and then archive it later, I can just click one button and boom, I'm done. And the last thing is Boomerang. Boomerang has been an extremely useful tool for me. Boomerang allows you to, when you send an email, set a reminder so that the email will come back into your inbox if the recipient does not respond within a certain time frame. It also allows you to schedule an email to arrive in a person's inbox at a certain specific point in time. So here's my email right now. I start at the top. I'm going to open this. Okay, here's something to take action on later. I will save this link, put it in my to-do list, add it to my backlog of things to do. And then I will archive that email. Here's something with Meetup. I'm gonna should unsubscribe from this. So I click to my email settings, just canceled it, so now I'm gonna delete this. Okay, archive this. Okay, this is not important. This is stuff that I'll respond to at a later point in time. So I'm going to put this into the action folder. This one, I'm going to unsubscribe from this. You'll see it for your mailing list. There's an unsubscribe option from the bottom. Click on that and just unsubscribe from all of it. And then you're successfully removed. Okay, archive that. So I have to take action on this, and so in this case, this individual is using a sender address verification, which is another useful tool to prevent the proliferation of spam. Essentially, you have to reply to his email, so I'm just replying to it. So I will send an archive here. Next thing is an action item here, and this thing I'll just put into my action item folder. And here's the other email here. And you're done. The other thing I want to mention is if you look at spam, there are no messages next to it. The reason why is I've created a filter where all of my spam messages skip the inbox and are immediately deleted. The way to do this is go to create a new filter, go has the words is spam, colon, go to create filter with the search. It'll say, you know, we don't recommend you do this, but just go ahead and do it, and just click on delete it and create the filter. There you go. So also with Boomerang, let's say I go to compose a message, you'll see Boomerang will say, Boomerang this message if I don't hear back, and then you can select how many days, from a week to 2 months to a certain date that you can schedule. You can also with Boomerang go to send later. If you click send later, you could send at a certain specific time, so it arrives in the inbox at a certain date. This is useful for when you need someone to respond back to a question you have and they don't do it, it'll come back into your inbox and then you can follow up with them. Lastly, I just want to say there are 3 things that I don't do with email that are important, because it's important what you do, but also the things that you do not do. So I don't create a ton of labels. As you see here, I don't have a ton of labels here. I think it's retarded to label things differently. What you can use instead of labeling things is just the Google search box here. Search for a particular sender, a particular keyword, and all those messages will come up, and there's no need to organize them. So the other thing is I don't use chat. Chat's just a distracting tool on Gmail. It's like when I go to Gmail, I'm just there to go through my email and get things done. If I want to chat with someone, I'll call them. And I don't open an email and then go back into my inbox and then leave it as read in my inbox. When I open an email, I'll take an action on it right away so that it's out of my inbox. The very last thing that I'll do after I've made sure that all my email is out of my inbox is I'll go into my action folder and then take action on the things that I had put in here and complete that, and then look at what my to-do list action items are and then keep going on that. So I hope this has been helpful for you to, maybe you'll take some insights from here. Everyone's different, so take what's useful for you and use that. And if you have any other suggestions or tips, post them in the comments below.